My husband left me years ago, horribly. There are times that I totally get it, that it was only happening in all God's will, and there is nothing to forgive. But there are times over and over again that I'm still angry and I want revenge and can't forgive. Please can you comment on these feelings which arise and how to handle them? Love you. Thanks, Murray. What you have to come down to is the feeling of the blame towards him and the chaos. Most of the time it's not to do with him anymore, even though you think it is. It's to do with stress or to do with your habit in your body. It just goes on to him because he maybe did the worst or the most meanest things to you or shocked you. And so your mind goes back onto that. It's a habit of the mind to be fearful or to be in anxiety or to be hateful or to be blameful, or to be blaming. And it's seeing that it's illusion, that it's not true. So you get that blame in your body, so you've got to see where it comes from. So you start imagining revenge, or you start imagining what he did and what you'd love to say to him one day, or how you'd love to see him fail, whatever it is. And you feel that in the heart or the solar plexus, and just really, really giving it space, like letting it come up. And see that it's not true. The feeling arises. So you've got the thoughts, and then really seeing that the feeling's not true and not running away from it, giving it space to be there, and not being afraid of your hatred or your revenge towards him. So it's not like trying to ignore it and trying to pull yourself out of it. It's allowing it to be there and see, and you can even let it speak, let yourself shout out what you hate about him or what you want to do to him. Like really allow the feeling to be there. Don't deny it in any way. And then once you've really allowed it to be there and really like letting, because you're letting the energy out of your body, it's like a habit, then really coming back to seeing that there is no guilty one. One thing that happened to me, or one thing that happened to me, or something that I purposely, I've always been on the side of, like I'm such a strong empath, and when I was 9 or 10 years old, I used to build these cages and sit in them as a protest to my mum and dad. I became a vegetarian when I was 8, and I used to protest, and I remember I'd say, I won't come out of these cages until we go to the pet shop and let all the animals out of the cages, or till you stop eating meat, or whatever it was. I was so sensitive. And what I did as a spiritual practice, this sounds really crazy, and it is crazy, I am crazy, is I purposely allowed myself to do something bad. Like it wasn't like really bad, it wasn't hurting or killing or anything like that, but I just wanted to do something mean. Like I remember, like, meanest thing I'd lose my temper and be really mean to people, but that would seem different. Like losing my temper was like I was out of control and I was responding to something. But I allowed myself to be bad in the sense that, I did something bad consciously, or what we deem as bad consciously. And everyone's going to be like, what was it? I'm not going to tell you. And this was actually really liberating in a way. I suddenly got a moment of like, oh God, now everyone's going to say that I told them to do bad things. So sometimes a little bit of paranoia or fear comes up in me that that get in trouble for being too much anarchy, because I am that character. Like I've tried everything and pushed everything, and it was so beautiful for me to do, because once when I did it, like there's nothing, I couldn't have done it any other way. And I could see how the other person, like I know I did it consciously, but I could just see how the other person can't help what they did. As time went on, I saw that I had these thoughts to do it, and I did it, and it couldn't. And then as time went on, I looked back at it, I saw that I couldn't take that back, and I couldn't have done it any other way. I had these thoughts that came up, that appeared, and had this energy that wanted to act that out, and then did it. And then it kind of shifted or did something beautiful inside of me, which aided that energy towards the other. But that the other cannot help it. You know, if you're always the one that's the good girl, or always doing the good thing, and always the victim, then you know, you think, I couldn't do that, or I couldn't do things like that. But then when you have done something bad, you're like, oh yes, I could. I could do it. I'm not saying do anything bad or illegal. I'm not giving anyone any advice. I'm just talking about my own experience, and I'm not going to tell anyone what I did. It wasn't illegal, but it was not nice. Not nice. So this is also another reflection that you can do, like really understanding that when thoughts and impulses and conditions and genetics arise, you couldn't have done anything differently, and that none of us have any moral high ground. None of us know what's going to be typed into us. Life's suddenly going to be like, that's the typewriter, and just write out a script for you, and then you're going to be the baddie. Bad one. Go to your bed. Stay in your bedroom. Thank you for your question.